Hi, it's Kelby. I am here to talk about this Grand Canyon expedition, 17 days. Wow, this is our last day. Tomorrow will be a quick pack up, getting out of the Diamond Creek and making our way in the bus back to the DoubleTree and back to reality at that. I didn't really know exactly what this trip was going to entail. I had heard a bit from my mom, who had been in this trip back in, I believe, 2015 when they filmed Martin's Boat. This trip has exceeded more than any expectation or thought you could imagine. So the first day we got all of our dry bags, packed them up, woke up, had some breakfast at the DoubleTree's breakfast area. We loaded on the buses and we were off to Lee's Ferry. It was split up because of COVID. We could distance ourselves in the buses, and after a beautiful drive and stopping at an area on the Navajo reservation, we got to Lee's Ferry. And that's where we met all of our amazing guides. We got fitted for our life jackets, our helmets, everything else, and we got to pick out what boat we were going on. That's where they kind of gave the spiel that every day you want to jump on a different boat and mix around with the group and stuff like that. So we went down to Saltwater Wash, which is where we stayed at 12.4 Mile and below. That was the first night that we slept outside and got to know everybody, and everybody was mingling and figuring out each other, and it was really fun. But it still didn't feel real. You look around and you see this beautiful canyon and you're basically living in a picture. Day 2, we stayed at 22 Mile. Yeah, just about 10 miles that we traveled that day. Day 3, we stayed at Buck Farm Cabin. That was the first day that we saw the horned sheep, and we saw a buck on that hike. And that was a hike in South Canyon. For day 4, we got to Nankoweap and we did a hike. It was really beautiful. We started the hike as a dry shoe hike, but we're told to pack our wet shoes. We hiked through the stream and up into this beautiful waterfall. We took a group picture as a Portland group. On the way up, we passed this group, and the group said that we were going to see a tarantula, which I'm not a fan of spiders, so I was not super excited about. we were told that at this place it was going to be a 2-day layover. So this was our first layover day. That night, it started to thunder, and then it started to, well, I guess it started to rain, then it started to thunder, then it started to lightning. It was kind of all alone with your little group, and this thunder and lightning is echoing off the canyon. We slept that night, and the next day was a layover at Nankoweap. We woke up, the sun was out. Luckily, we had the time to let our tents dry out. We had a hike up to some ruins and some granaries, and the granary hike was definitely a stair climber. You're just hiking up in the dead of sun and making your way up. Mike and Greg made their way up ahead of time. They were pretty smart, they could take their time. But the rest of the group trucked their way up, and we made it up to the granaries, which was pretty special. And great, what a great view of the river as well. It just kind of snaked its way down. On day 6, we woke up to pouring down rain, and we loaded up the boats and we made our way onto the river. Still pouring down rain. The sky is so dark, it looks like night, and the thunder and lightning again is just echoing off the canyon. And as we're on our way down, there's rock falls. So it was pretty crazy. We stopped at Upper Unkar Camp, and we set up this giant brown tarp that covered the entire chair circle. And they somehow cooked up warm soup within 5-10 minutes, it felt like, by the time that we got there. I changed it into some warm clothes, and off we went. On day 7, we were told that we could let our tents dry, and we had some huge rapids that day. We passed Phantom Ranch, and Trinity Creek is where we stayed. On day 8, we stopped at Hotata Camp. On day 9, we were at Upper Forester Camp. There was this large beach. The stars were bright, the moon was bright. On day 10, we stayed at Stone Creek Camp. There was a really cool waterfall right at the bottom, just a little ways of a hike. That was another layover day. So that was into day 11. And day 11 consisted of 3 different options. You could stay at camp and just relax for the day. You could go to the second option, which is a double waterfall, or this third option that went to some more ruins and another waterfall. Day 12, we stayed at Below Knob Camp. On day 13, we stayed at Stairway Canyon. On day 14, we stayed at Whitmore Wash. Day 15, we stayed at Indian Canyon. Today we stayed at mile 221, and tonight we will be sleeping here, heading out in the morning, and on our way back into reality. You know, you can't even put into words all the memories that were made on this trip. We had bocce ball competitions.
Good.
We had water fights in the river when it's 90 to 100 degrees on you and you're just thinking about how you need to get a bail bucket and splash yourself. Amazing food. Amazing people that on the first day, you were like, who are these people? And now we're all really close, and I hope that we all stay in touch with each other. Really, this has been truly an amazing trip. Yeah, the food has been amazing. I can't even believe that they were able to have these many different meals and ingredients into every meal and everything else. The hikes were beautiful. Everywhere had an amazing destination point, either a view, a waterfall, a ruin, something. The rapids were incredible. I had no idea what we were getting into. The first few days I was like, wow, that was amazing, great rapid. And then we started hitting all the rapids that involved sapphire and crystal and lava and all these other ones. I would say my favorite part, besides just honestly being here, being able to experience this with all these other people, but my favorite part was Deer Creek, which was this pretty steep hike up, and as you're walking through this little side canyon, there are probably 40 or 50 foot cliffs that snake its way down, and this dark rock. And then all of a sudden in the distance, after a few winds and turns, you see this green oasis, these giant trees, sun beaming through the top of the canyon, butterflies and waterfalls and streams and everything else. Honestly, what a beautiful place. The beauty of this entire canyon is incredible. I took a million pictures, and I know that none of them will meet what each of us saw with our eyes and the memories that were made. Throughout this trip, the only thing that comes to mind is gratefulness. I'm so grateful to Uncle Mal and JJ for thinking of me and giving me the ability to be on this trip. I love you guys so much, and I wouldn't be here or be able to experience this without your help. Not really ready for it to end. Not really ready to go back to reality. Maybe I'll become a river guide, probably not. it was pretty nice to be out here. I hope that everybody stays in touch. Also thanks to the guides and the baggage guides and the assistants and everything else. We got to sit back and relax while they did all the hard work. Pretty incredible people, and they have a pretty incredible job as well. So anyway, hopefully this video is filled with lots of awesome pictures. Nothing that will truly show how beautiful it is, but you'll get a little bit of an idea, and I would recommend to anybody that if you have the chance to get out here, do it. Ours is a great group. Their guides really care about this canyon and the history behind it, and I have learned so much every day. Thanks for everything. Happy to be here. I'll see y'all on the outside world.